Trump said that the price of Ozempic could be $150 or just generally much lower than it is now. When should we celebrate? If you haven't seen, Trump was asked by a journalist about the weight loss medications coming down in price and if that was one of the medications that would be $150, and he said yes. Now, he also said they could be much lower, and you could interpret that as they could be lower than $150, or they could just be much lower than where they currently are. What was obvious was that Dr. Oz was not expecting him to say this, and he jumped to the mic and mentioned that negotiations aren't complete yet. And Eli Lilly, Novo Nordisk stock both fell over 3% on this news. Him stock, which deals with a lot of compounded medication, fell over 14% on this news. Everyone has been asking about my thoughts. If you don't know, I'm Sabina. I do a lot of content on Access, and I made a tool to help people compare providers. First of all, this could be a genuine slip up. It could also be a negotiating strategy for him to bring it up and make it look like a mistake, but it anchors the public perception around the 150 number, and that puts pressure directly on the pharma companies to meet the expectations that he has set. Now, talk is cheap, and it really depends on what the outcomes are actually going to be. It is positive in the sense that Trump is focused on this, and since he said it publicly, even if it was a mistake, he now probably feels more pressure to deliver on something that he's kind of promised. Do I think these medications are going to be $150 anytime soon? Honestly, no. It's way too much of a price drop. It's way too ambitious, and I hope that I'm wrong and he does get that. I would be really impressed. But so far, the most favored nations negotiations have been focused on medications that aren't nearly as widely used, and also it hasn't been impacting the bottom line or financial projections of the pharma companies. And in the GLP-1 space, these medications are such a large percentage of these very large companies' revenue. I can't see them bringing their stock price intentionally down that far. They're going to fight as hard as they can to prevent that.